What's up, everybody? He's Michael Langston, recruiting analyst for Warchant.com and Rivals.com. I'm Aslan Hajavani, director of digital media just for Warchant.com. We're here for another edition of Projecting the Prospect 2020 edition. A big signing class, first signing class for head coach Mike Norvell. A lot of guys were kind of committed to the previous staff, and he had to hold on to them. Carter Boatwright kind of falls into that boat, if you will, Michael. When you assess Carter Boatwright from the jump, what kind of stands out to you? What kind of prospect do they have in him?
Well, I think the wow factor with him is he is an elite blocker. And we know that Norvell is going to use three tight end sets. He's mentioned that many a times. So, Carter is going to add a lot to that as far as blocking on the outside. In between those blocks, Norvell likes to run the ball with his back. So Carter's going to be a big part of helping, and he'll be a great addition. And he's also an athletic receiver. So I think he's a guy that you can develop into, that receiving threat. But his blocking is what really just leaps out at you really big.
Right. So that's the wow factor. What does Carter Boatwright need to work on?
I think you would have to say, because he didn't get a lot of opportunities with this, but receiving-wise, route running, those are areas that specifically I think FSU will work hard on with Coach Thompson and working and specifically getting him better in and out of his routes, because he's already athletic, but he needs to show consistency as far as that route running, obviously catching the ball, just getting more familiar with. It's going to be a big upstick for him as far as the way FSU is going to pass the ball, especially with tight ends. So I think that's going to be a challenge for him to develop that part of the game to get better at as far as a receiver.
Carter Boatwright's already on campus, already has a few spring practices under his belt, but here's what the coaching staff said about him before he arrived to Tallahassee.
Carter Boatwright, is really what we're looking for. I mean, a young man has great size, great potential here with what we believe he can develop to become. Not only as a run blocker, but what he can do in the passing game. That is going to be a big staple of our offense.
All right, Michael, he's already in the mix with limited numbers at tight end. Cam McDonald, really the only scholarship tight end they had returning, so opportunities out there for him. So I'm not going to ask you redshirt a green light on him, but could you compare him? Is there anybody that you've covered in your decades and decades? Are we multiple decades now with you, Michael, in terms of recruiting coverage? Anybody you want to compare him to?
I'm saying I'm going to pinpoint this. I'm saying this as a blocker. He reminds me a lot of Nick O'Leary coming out of high school, the way he blocks. Nick O'Leary was a very good blocker. You used him a lot as a blocker. Now, Nick was a lot farther ahead as far as a receiver, but as a blocker, this kid kind of reminds me of him, the way he seals the edge. Great blocker. He understands body position. He understands blocking technique, and he's a guy I think is going to help a lot in that area. So as a blocker, he reminds me a lot of Nick.
All right, there you go. That's the breakdown on Carter Boatwright from Michael Langston, as well as the coaching staff. We'll be back with another edition of this as we continue to project the prospect on Warchant TV, YouTube, and on Warchant.com.